Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. Test, test. Test, test. Well, you should be able to hear me. You should be able to hear me. But according to. Oh, I'm an idiot. Test, test. Okay. Remember to turn the mic on. Okay, okay, okay. You would have the intro and all that music, but not in no really a mood for that tonight. I think we'll be short and sweet tonight. Um, didn't go last week. Had a how do you say? Just feeling some type of way. Feeling some type of way. Still feel some type of way, but the show must go on. Past 2 weeks, a lot is happening. We still Ukraine is still at war with Russia. Well, actually, Ukraine is resisting Russian occupation. Um, United States has given another 800 million. I can't think of the total amount right now, but we've given a lot of money. Russia has shifted tactics to going out to one of the major cities, try to give them a land bridge, if you understand land bridge, uh, to Crimea, connect some of the last bit of territory they annexed in 2014, I believe it was. What else is going on in the news? Hmm, we talked about the confirmation of KBJ. We talked about, oh yeah, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is buying Twitter. I think as of today, it's almost officially a done deal. And there's a lot of people feel some type of way about it, either or, either for and against. I'm personally against it. Um, and I actually like Elon Musk. I think that he's a great innovator, but I think his approach toward free speech is very naive. Um, I think most people are very stupid, and I don't say that lightly. Let me say that. I don't say I want to say people are stupid, even though I think a lot of people are stupid. A lot of people are very gullible and go with the sensationalized headlines. And I think Elon Musk is going to allow Trump back on that. It was the first things he's going to do. And we know that Trump is a habitual liar. So, I don't know. We've crossed some more milestones as far as I get back. I put a pin in that one right to come back to it. I always put a lot of pins and things to come back to it, so I'll come back to it. But if y'all motherfuckers don't call and remind me, I forget. I'm getting old. Um, the next time I broadcast will be the month of my 50th birthday. I think I deserve a little applause there. I have a birthday party planned for Jaco's, May the 20th, from 7 o'clock until. Um, I'm not giving a lot of details, but you got to dress up. Um, there will be a theme. Make Frank's fantastic 50th birthday. Making miracles. Yeah, blah, 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 all that stuff. I'm not going to tell you if they have food or drink because yeah, if you come to my party, um, I should have to bribe your ass. Um, I will say that if you're not subscribed to my channel, don't come to my damn party. Plain and simple. Um, Come on now, you can go to YouTube, subscribe to the broadcast, and it takes like 10 seconds. If you can't do that, then the hell with you. I don't want you at my party anyway. You can't, I'm asking you to listen to every broadcast, but subscribe. I get 1,000 subscribers. I can start monetizing this. I can actually go to a different level with this. And like I said, this is my diary. This is my legacy for my kids. At least so they'll know that either I was a crazy ass or Pops was right on a lot of things, which, you know, I'm not saying I think I am, but I think I am. I'm not saying I am, but I think I am all right on some things. I think I have a very unique worldview, and I think that worldview is more realistic on some aspects. It's very hopeful on some aspects. I believe in the goodness of people individually. I think humanity is fault. I think that we're going to see signs of global warming. I think we're going to lose part of our shore, and we're going to look for excuses to, blame it on everything else but ourselves, our greed, our religion of consumption, our religion of money. But don't get me wrong. I like nice stuff, but I've never been the kind of guy to dollar at all costs kind of guy. I don't know why I'm not like that. I wish I was, but I'm just not built like that. So we're gonna definitely gonna see some things happen. Oh, some because of the high rising gas prices, they have opened up drilling again in some spaces that they really had decided before the Obama administration, and Biden previously said that he wasn't going to do again. But to avoid him getting slaughtered at the poll, and Trump, and the Trumpicans, and I said that I'm going to try to be fair, but I got to call this as it is. Only reason that he's opening this stuff back up is political. As I said, plain and simple. Not saying right or wrong, but it's all political. He knows there's an election coming up. He knows that the House is in play, and those pockets, like people like MG, Mallory, Garrett, Green, and JG. um, hopefully, let's go back. Let's start with her for a second. She went to court, and she don't remember shit. I don't remember. 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 Pretty much her testimony with concerns to the January 6th, some of the texts and some of the conversations she's had. She don't remember. If her memory is that bad, which my memory is that bad, I don't think she needs to be in Congress. But she has a candidate. She's facing a candidate who is a somewhat moderate Republican. Well, I wouldn't even say moderate, sort of not so shit crazy competition. Hopefully, she gets primaried and she loses, and one less of the crazy ones is out of the House, out of Congress. Um, what's some up for that? Biden, global warming, war. Seems like all is bad in the world. If you look at it that way, it seems all bad. Locally, Bill County, we have a new superintendent for the school system to relieve Curtis Jones, Superintendent Curtis, Dr. Curtis Jones, who's leaving in June, I believe. And he has made his administration, I didn't say it's him because it's a teamwork, have made some good progress when it comes to the Bill County school system. Now, there was a whole lot of contention that the next superintendent should have been a local pick. Um, I can see the argument for that, and I can see the argument for the person they picked. But either way, um, unless there's a major injunction filed, um, I think he's going to be it. He's confirmed that 14 days after it was announced. So I think that is next week. Don't quote me on that one. If you're listening, don't quote me on that one. Um, so moving forward, Georgia news overall, the VA is looking to options as far as um, the Veterans Administration Hospital that's currently located in Dublin, which should have fucking been there. Um, is looking at with a $230 million to renovate it, to modernize it, and there's a lot of chatter about it should be located in Macon, which I fucking said it the moment I came back to Georgia. Again, um, but there should be a real big push to get it here. Now, one of the arguments was, well, Macon is so violent. Macon is so violent. Let's break that violence down. Past few years, Macon has finally got a veterans court to look at the thing about veterans who are in crisis, PTSD. I personally know a young man who died, who was suffering from PTSD, excuse me. Um, I think those resources in middle Georgia, Macon, would be a good thing. I think that the number of veterans in this area was estimated at 36 plus thousand. So as opposed to having it in bumfuck Dublin, which I can't say I like Dublin, can't say I got anything against it, but logistically, that's a dumbass place to put it. Um, it was always was, but we probably had a senator at the time who carried a bigger stick than the one we had in this area, and they didn't think about the ramifications, so they let it happen and blah 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 blah. Well, again, we should have the VA hospital should be in Macon, strategically located. It's in the center of the state, middle of Georgia. I mean, really, really the center of the state. We're next to two large interstates, 16 and 75. We are we have a lot of towns. We're 15 minutes away from a base, Warner Robins Air Force Base, and just we have a public transportation system to help supplement the veterans getting the resources to getting to there. We also have major hospitals there. Major hospitals area, Piedmont and Navastet, and we have Mercer, and we also have Middle Georgia State University here. So I think strategically located, there's a lot of resources because you know the VA is overloaded. You know the VA is overworked. I'm a veteran who go to the VA. I get services from service connected disability. So we know that there's a lot of overflow. Well, we got two damn hospitals, two major hospitals that can help serve that community, and from all the surrounding areas, and there's more money into the pockets. There's more money coming into our community. I understand everybody's focusing on the amphitheater, but you gotta look at the bigger picture. You gotta be proactive. You gotta be visionary when it comes to governance and government. Um, Another thing I was pushing to come here was Wolf Creek Lodge. And I think, because I was in Virginia, one of the things about traveling or living in other places, you see things that other people got that, like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. If you don't know what Wolf Creek Lodge is, it's a hotel slash water park that's fully enclosed and has a set temperature. I think it's like 76 degrees, 78 degrees year round. It's hot at 78 degrees. It's cold at 78 degrees. So I'm going to quote me on the temperature, but I thought, this is me just being fucking crazy, that with us having the oldest, one of the oldest Indian, Native American, indigenous people monuments in the United States, it almost was a no-brainer to have a Wolf Creek Lodge here. Does it make sense to you? Well, I'm not really looking at the feed, so I don't know if you really agree or not. Don't agree, but I'm assuming that some of you are some rationally thinking people. Like, and again, we're off two major highways, So I think that probably would have been a good idea to have it here. But just a crazy guy who has a whole lot of ideas and perceived crazy guy who has a whole lot of ideas, and I didn't have the political power or alliances to make that happen, or even to give it a big push. Perhaps if I had my podcast back then, I could have really done that. Anyway, but it went to Griffin, I believe, and I think I haven't heard any numbers, but anyway. What else is going on? What's going on in this world? Johnny Depp and his ex-wife. There's been some startling revelations concerning that trial. Some crazy stuff was said. Feces in the bed, her cutting him. I think even the therapist said they mutually, the therapist said she believed they mutually abused each other. However, she knows for a fact that Amber, the wife, his wife, her, the chick from, the woman from Aquaman, has put hands on Johnny Depp. And because of that, I've seen a whole bunch of narrative about see, men get abused too. Toxic femininity. That's the shit I heard. Toxic femininity. Boy, shut your ass up. First off, I'm tired of men threatened by a woman being in power. Don't get me wrong. This whole Amber Heard and Johnny Depp shit's crazy. But to use that, go back to the Will Smith, the whole Jada thing. She's done some things that I probably don't agree with. But however, to the painting narrative of toxic femininity as a big force undermines the reality of us living in a patriarchal society. The power imbalance between men and women are not, it's not equal. Women, especially, look at Black African American women, are the most educated women in the United States right now. Per per what's that say? I would say per capita per group. However, they are the third highest paid behind white women. So it was white men, white women, black women, black men. The black and I have black men, railing against black women. They're trying to listen. The world has changed. The world has changed. The society where we had a strong labor force in the United States is gone. Our industrial advantage is gone. Outsourcing did away with that shit. So if you're finding yourself have to retool yourself, go back to school, learn new trades, if you refuse to do that, that's your dumb ass. I'm in my fifth. I turned 50 this year. Um, I don't expect to be trying to do butt work. Butt work, not butt work, butt work. Busting my back at age 50 years old, unless I'm looking for early death. Between high blood pressure, diabetes, diet, nutrition, that type of thinking is outdated. You gotta, don't get me wrong, a man should, there's certain things I feel a man should know. Change tires, some type of trade, whatever. But you gotta be, can't be so stuck on the past that you're unable to adapt to changing demographics. And those who are unable to adapt, look at, I use Putin as a prime example of a man chasing his glory days. He really he's the Al Bundy of the world. 4 touchdowns, you remember the whole thing, Al Bundy, I was talking about his heyday. Um, he's still trying to chase that heyday. And I think a lot of males miss the days where they were just sole providers, the woman worked at home, leave the beaver kind of shit. That shit is no longer a reality for a majority of people, especially African Americans. Now, there's some who are able to sustain that type of lifestyle, but this is not the most, we know the divorce rate was 50 something percent, very close to 50%. And people, women especially, have choices. They don't have to stick around a shitty marriage. Don't have to put up with their man, stepping out, having kids outside of marriage, like, Ray Charles. Um, Low Ray Charles, but he was whole. Yeah, Ray Charles was whole. And I'm not speaking bad of the day. Oh hell, Martin Luther King has some harsh tendencies. Oh my God, I know I'm gonna get some flack on this one, but let's be real. Ralph Abernathy tried to tell us that regardless of his personal flaws, Martin Luther King was still a great man, and we want to make people out to be these saints, these bigger than life, never did wrong figures. But in spite of his flaws, he still was a great man. But he was a flawed man. Um, so I was going somewhere with that. If I had a producer, keep me on track. This would be a really cool thing. Um, Flaws about the toxic. Oh yeah, yeah. So back to the male psyche and and us blaming toxic femininity on as to this liberal agenda to take away the man from the household and blah 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 blah. Um, Retool and revamp. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, I'm saying a few things, but retool and revamp. If you feel like you're not the master of your destiny and the world is against you, mobilize, get together, pool your resources, and come up with a different plan of attack. Again, I'm not a man who of money. Money's really not. Money is a very abstract concept to me. I know it's a useful resource. I don't worship money. You know, my daily affirmation isn't like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million. I would like to make $1 million, but it's not. I'd rather have a more sustainable world, as cliche as that sound, that my kids can enjoy. Not about me. Not about me. It's about them and their future. It only boils down to me as far as what can I do to assist them in their future being as bright as I can make it. And I'm telling you, I had a moment last week. I had a moment last week. Those who know me, my life's work has been, well, I think it's my life's work, but since I've been out in Middle Georgia, working toward peace, promoting dialogue, conflict resolution, peacekeepers, Thanksgiving in the neighborhood, promoting that. My brand is making one community connections, um, making that platform, that table, that space where we can communicate and have honest talk has always been a space where I try to operate in at all levels. I get mad. I get flustered. I get passionate, and I get disappointed. But it's a space where I always try to operate from. And I've done it from the heart. Opportunity came about with I thought I could be able to do it not only just my heart, but have some resources and get paid to do it. Um, it didn't work out like I thought it should, and I was really like, "Fuck making, let me get the hell out from here," because you know what? After 11 years here, if I'm not considered a person, if I'm not seen as important to the next step, then hell with it. I should go somewhere where I should feel like my skill set be more appreciated. But that was my ego. Don't get me wrong. I thought I totally qualified for what I was trying to do, but I had to take, regardless if Frank Lewis Dixon is involved or not, the work needs to be done. And one monkey don't stop the show. Not calling myself a monkey. You try to call me a monkey in my face. I'm like, yeah. But one person don't stop the show. So I had to get out myself, get out my feelings, and I'm going to support that initiative. I don't want to talk about the name of it, but I'm going to support it and do whatever I can to make it successful. Because at the end of the day, if it helps our community, that's a win for all of us. So even though I thought I was going, thought I was a number one contender for a position, program to do some good, you know, a The powers to be seem to have gone another direction, and that's okay because the end of the day, it's all about the work. Our community needs people advocating, talking to these youth, and a lot of things I do. I probably don't talk about as much as I should. I don't sell myself as much as I should, especially the knowing how making can be. But if I got to constantly sell myself to you, then nah, I'm not doing all that. I know what I do and I do it from the heart. I know that you know when it comes to people, I'm a people person. I'm for the people. Anybody who's been around me knows that I'm for the people, and so things are what they are. And continue to be for the people, not just the ones who go to these programs, go to these um, what's my phone now? Who go to these programs, who go to these organizations. I'm on the street sometimes, people within my circle, you know, they know they can call me. They know I'll be there for them as much as I'm able to. They know that, if they need an ear to listen to, I do it. Um, it's not about the rewards. It's not about recognition. It's about the people. Um, what happens to us next? That's a whole different discussion. I'll probably talk faith and spirituality, religion one day, but not tonight. But being at the street level and reaching people where they are, as much as you're able to, just be there, be a presence, be a force to the people who cross your path. I think that's the work that we all need to strive to do more of. Little acts of kindness. Started back doing archery with my youngest Evan. Um, um, he's getting to the age where I have to do more manly stuff with him. You know, so archery is one of the things that I'm doing with him. He seems to like it. He seems to like it. At his age, I was doing it in 4-H. My daughter, in Connecticut, she's into archery. Kareem, he tried it for like a week or two. He really get into it. So it's interesting. Another thing I do with Evan is watch some cartoons. My Hero Academia is the one we're currently watching. Or I'll call up in that one. Season 5 is completed. Let's pause for that one. Um, and it's funny because things that you do with your kids, and especially your boys, as a boy, as a man raising, working with boys, you try to look for things to promote values. Some people, very strictly religious, they the biblical values, but cartoons, movies, we can always use those as platforms for conversation, not just entertainment, edutainment, as I like to call it. And that's a good thing. Evan's a good kid. He's a good kid. Big heart, big heart. Not a malicious bone in his body. And I really truly mean it. I think a lot of people, you know, Evan, he sees commercials like the kids in Ukraine suffering, and he's like, "Dad, we got to get some money to them. We got to do this." Like, we don't got money like that, son. But that's Evan, you know, special kid. Kareem's that way. I think my daughter's that way too. She's very active. Um, I don't get to see her tonight too, but that's and I'll talk about that one day. But I am blessed to have kids that have a sense of social responsibility. And if you look at the influences they've had, Evan's mother, teacher, educator, public health, um, myself, public health, foster care, DBHDD experience, Kareem as well. Um, my daughter's mother's educator as well. That you know, that feeling of service, and I got that from my father and my mother. Father ex-military. My mother, she was a she worked for 4-H, well, extension services, which 4-H falls under that banner. Nutritionist at one time. She's also worked in a group home, and she was a neighborhood mother. Back when we had neighborhoods that were real tight knit, like I said, I grew up in Macon, Green Meadows. You know, my mother was a neighbor, was a neighborhood mother. You know, it's sad. Still see people today who they realize who I am. They know by my mother. They may not recognize me because I was a little skinny little thing back in the day, but you Miss Sally's son, and that's an honor to me. And hopefully, mm, through my actions, my kids feel that type of honor when my name is mentioned, and not just like that was you think about legacy, you think about what do you leave behind for your kids. A lot of people always focus on the legacy, the wealth, and I think that it's a good resource. Don't get me wrong. I wish I had, you know, wish I had done more financially. My book's not story's not over yet. But some ventures may fall out of the sky, or I may develop some ideas I can't have they come to fruition and be lucrative. But a sense of service to greater than just self is something I really hope that they get from me. If there's anything I hope that they learn is greater than self. I think in the United States, we were, I want to get back to the 80s, the whole fucking me generation, greed, ultra capitalism, you know, that really put us on the poop. A lot of things we're seeing now are a result of that, I feel. And I'm willing to debate that. Um, hmm, not doing probably not doing 2 hours today, going an hour. Maybe do 45 minutes. I'm at 35 minutes now. Hmm. So I mentioned it's my birthday month. I mentioned Jacole's. Oh, Mother's Day. That's the next major holiday coming up. Um, under this video, I'm gonna I want you to talk about your mama. Short reply. Inbox me at making1cc@gmail.com. Um, send it to the phone number that's listed there. Talk about your mother and stories about your mother. I want to hear stories about your mother, your mama. And the winner is depicted by me, my brother, and my son, or gets shirts. I do some custom shirts for you and your family, your siblings, and your mother, father too. But it's all about mom right now. Father's Day, we're going to do something a little similar, but probably verge it, change it just a little bit, tweak it. So again, let's talk about your mother. 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, the max. Um, Submissions. Like I said, email me. You can text it to the phone number 478-200-7958. Talk about your mother. I'll make shirts for you and your siblings for up to, what's that, 10 people? 11 including your mother. Yeah, 11 including your mother. So that's, you know, pops you a little love too, but it's all about moms right now. That's coming up soon. I think the cutoff is going to be next Monday. What is Mother's Day? It is coming up soon. I think next Monday, next week, or next Wednesday. I'll probably advertise it again next week. Probably do a topic show again next week. So kind of slides and all that. But Submit it. Let's talk about your mom. I want to hear about your mother. Um, and we honor our mothers. I had a few ideas for T-shirts. Don't know if I want to say it on the air because if I see somebody who I know subscribed and they have a T-shirt design, I mean, it's kind of pissed off. But want to embrace our. I learned about it's used random, but it's coming to it. In history, I learned about how I forgot which era it was. I want to say the Meiji. Came in before that. Revere the elders. Revere the emperor was one of the major thing. I'll go back into that. I want to have those names. But basically, it was push to embrace the wisdom of the elders. Asia, I think it was Japan. I want to say it was Japan, but it could have been China. I'm pretty sure it was Japan. You know, they had a big push about revere the emperor, revere the elders, and their culture, both cultures, both Asian, Japanese, and Chinese, their relationship with elders is very commendable. And I think that for the most part, America, I want to just say America, Western civilization, we have demonized aging elders. Not politically, because we know that the old folks vote, as you say, but we don't we don't show them the reverence that we should. Have. We have products that men and women hide their grays, gray hairs. I got a little bit of gray hair here. I embrace it. I'm not gonna change it. I've earned it. I've lived long enough to be able to have gray hair. Whenever I'm in the grocery store or out in public, I see a woman, especially a African American woman with gray silver hair. I always try to compliment her. I see you. And not just as a patronizing thing, because I think that that silver mane of glory represents how black women, especially black women in America, have had to carry the burden of our community. I can talk about Africans, I can talk about white people, talk about strictly African Americans. Those of us who are children of the descendants of the ex-enslaved, how despite men being systematically taken out of the house, exterminated, and some just lost the power of the women, black women, to just maintain a household, just maintain a family, keep us together. The big mamas, the Miss Sally's, the Miss Gloria's, this. These are the ones I've seen contact them making, Miss Nosy Rosie, Miss Rose Mitchell, who everybody said, who grew Green Meadows, you knew who Miss Rose was. She stood at her window and just looked out for everybody. Um, Her sister, Miss Benefit, who used to babysit me. The power of these women going through what they went through and the legacy that their children went through and their children's children still suffer from today and their trauma, their pain, I'm in awe of them. Am I always what I should be to women? No, I'm human. Um, but I see the beauty. When I see that silver flowing hair, it does something to me. Not like a fetish. It's a sense of awe in me. So revere the elders, revere our elders, embrace the youth. You know, youth is energy, youth is motion, but elders of wisdom, that steadfastness, those are the rocks that have weathered the storm, and we need both. Somehow, in our community, African Americans, again, I can't speak for white people, there's been a real big disconnect. There's been, you know, older heads, young heads, even when it comes to hip hop music, you know, I think other forms of music may have me go through the same thing, but hip hop music, you know, the older heads versus the young cats, mumble rap. Don't get me wrong, not really a big listener to a lot of the young stuff because I think hip hop is a, you know, I think it's different for me. I grew up on conscious rap. I'm not saying that what these young men and women are doing isn't hip hop, but it's just not something that I'm comfortable with, you know, being my match or something I just talk about all the time. Don't get me wrong, we had our AMGs, Beats Better Have My Money's, Uncle Luke. Um, but this drill shit is whole different animal. I shouldn't call it shit. It's drill music. So it's a whole different beast. The mantra, the frequency shit on it. We can break that down. But the cultural relevance of our music is something that we should always have the ability to have discussions on. And it should be coming from a place of love and not damnation. A lot of these older DJs, you know, they begrudgingly play some of this stuff, and mm, bridging the gap, I guess, was what we call bridging the gap between youth and the elders. Because, you know, again, 2065 is coming, or 2045 first, but then 2065. Those who listened to the broadcast before know what those 2 years mean. Um, and the responsibility that those youth now have, are going to have, because of actions or inaction on our part, it's actually unfair. We know global warming, or those who, we know that the latest UN report states that if we don't do something by 2030, it's almost the point of no return. 2030. What year is it now? 2022. 8 years. And we just opened up drilling again. Instead of doubling down on alternative fuels, even nuclear. I'm personally a fan of nuclear energy. You know, I served on a nuclear submarine. I'm not glowing. When it comes to the waste, I think there's things we can do with the waste. Out of the box thinking, you know, they'll take it to the moon. But anyway, but let me see that. Uh, but I think there's ways that we can reduce the our carbon footprint and not break the economy and leave this world a better place, not just financially, because it seems like money is the religion of this world nowadays, but things we can do to make this world um, better. Anyway, well, since I didn't have a main topic tonight, if you want to call in, hold on, make sure I got my window open. No, y'all asses ain't calling in. Yep, nobody called it never. What number is that one? Okay, yep. Nobody's calling in. I haven't called anybody. So, hmm, what should we talk? I'm trying to think of next week. A topic for next week. I did my three grandfathers, and I actually enjoyed doing that one. Don't mind doing some stuff. But I upload. I need to upload that PowerPoint. Um, hmm. Well, this is version. I think we're at 2.3. I think tonight we actually did pretty good. I gotta reconfigure my stream deck because I moved my audio files around. I have to work on my mixer a little bit. Um, it's actually it's not bad, but I want to do a few things. But I got four programmable buttons. I may get a friend of mine to record me an intro. Need to mess around with these graphics. Again, if you know somebody who's interested in doing their own podcast and don't have the equipment, um, have it wide open. No, I don't have COVID. I don't think. Just a little jerk off. Um, uh, my casa is your casa. I have set up a whole virtual studio in my spare room. Lights, multiple cameras, mixers, well, two mics. I even have a handheld camera that we can use. We can get it going popping. No matter what you want to do, we can do it. Um, I'm learning. I use the OBS software, and for my podcast, which I am like glad to say, I think this is episode number 10 that I have in the can. That I'm able to chop up. I'm able to just chop them up and just process them so I can, when I start my officially launch my podcast, um, I have episodes in the can, so people go, okay, this is what it's about. Um, I may be shifting to twice. Oh, I'm on to that, but I'm definitely gonna be shifting my times to earlier during the day. Um, 7 o'clock is. I don't know if I want to do noon, a high noon, or high noon funny. Oh, shouts out to everybody who celebrated 420. I should have really texted on that one. You know what? I might do that next week. How about 420? Weed legacy. Weed. Let's talk about weed next week. Yep. It's all about your mama and weed. Yep, we'll talk about weed next week. Um, it's not me exactly what you think. I try to be, you know, yeah, I'm trying to promote that dialogue, but um, yeah, definitely gonna talk about weed next week. So it is what 7:49. Nobody's called in. I may or may not have somebody streaming, watching online. That's okay. We're always a building in the day. I'm actually still in learning progress process. Um, this has been very therapeutic to me. Very therapeutic. Just get stuff off my chest. Put out put out into the world, and hopefully, like a time capsule, when prosperity looks at it, they'll get a good reflection of the mindset of one person who tried. That's all any of us really can do. We try to make things better. Well, I can't say anything else we can do or should do, but for me, my mission is try to leave this world a better place than it was before I was born. For my kids and their children's children. And that sense of building on and just moving society forward is something that we really need to re-embrace. Fuck the me. You know, how much Gucci, how much money, how many cars can you have? And leave, I'm gonna wrong, leave resources to your children, but those special moments, those sunsets, those sense of awe that watching a show with a movie with your kid and just both of y'all gasping at the big reveal, laughing at a corny joke, um, eating ice cream together, um, making s'mores, candy apples, watch out for diabetes, um, introducing new foods to them realizing they like sushi, uh, them realizing they like greens, so food, them realizing what they want to be, or or trying to be something in life and failing, but picking themselves up and trying again. Those are priceless. You can't put a money value on those things. You know, these are the things that I feel the human experience is. We don't focus enough. But hopefully, we'll get it right. Some days are more hopeful than other days. Today, I'm middly. Not too far, too disappointed, but not too. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. My oldest son, he wrote me for boot camp. I got put his letter in the mailbox, probably two mailboxes, not two mailboxes, two letters. Um, that's it. I think thank God that I'm able to, you know, express myself through this medium, podcasting, and those who find some solace in my words, I just think it was batshit crazy, entertain, abuse, whatever. It's okay. It's all good because perception is a very funny thing. None of us are omnipotent for myself, and it's shaped by factors internal and external that affect us individually. Your perception is your perception based on what you've experienced, and those factors are internal and external to you, and mine is based on my experience, internal and external. So, that being said, um, yeah, we're well over the 5 minutes. I'm not going to just ramble on for the next 8 minutes. Thank you for joining in. Those who did join in, again, there's be some changes. Next week, probably still gonna do 7 o'clock, unless something majorly changes. Definitely going to do an earlier broadcast. Maybe two. Maybe do 2 30 minutes. Um, Again, if you have somebody who's into podcasting, I keep saying this. Nobody. I've had somebody inbox me once or twice. Um, I have the whole setup. You want to do a show? Yeah, you can even use my studio to do your own show. You know, it's all good. It's all good. It's not about me. It's about people being able to express themselves, have conversations, and hopefully the conversation gives deeper understanding of each other. So, you got a young student who's in podcasting, communications, blah blah blah, news. Um, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. Okay.